Hey guys, what's going on? It's Cyclone here. How are you? I have another Trillium beer review for you all tonight. And this is going to be my dessert. Um, and it's a very fascinating beer. It's kind of a mishmash of different styles. This is the Escape Plan Sour Ale. Now, immediately when you think of sour, you think of like raspberry and blackberry and even cherry. But this is a collab beer by Trillium and Cellarmaker, and it's literally 3 days old in the can, brand new beer. Let me tell you the ingredients of this: orange, mango, lime, coconut, passion fruit, pineapple, almond, vanilla, and lactose. So, they call it milk sugar. Okay, roughly the same idea. They said this encapsulates a tropical cocktail beer, and the two brewers came together while having cocktails and said, how can we make a beer that encapsulates these experiences, like a pina colada and other sorts of tropical drinks? Uh, the other thing I'm thinking about, and I can't freaking think about it, not sangria maybe, but not really. You're more your pina coladas and your mai tais and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm interested in is how much does the vanilla, the almond, and the lactose and the coconut come out? Because the rest of them, orange, mango, lime, passion fruit, pineapple, these are not normally sour ale tastes. So very interesting why they're calling it a sour ale. They say it's sweet and sour. But will this be a dessert beer? Let's find out together. And I remember the picture is very orange. I remember they have this thing in a tiki glass on the website. I hate when it does this. Let me just get that out there. Okay. Oh my god, it smells like a pina colada. Oh my gosh, it smells like a pina colada. It looks like a glass of OJ, a little bit darker, and there's tons of sediment floating around. You see little black specks floating in there, and that's probably, well, it could be the almond if it's like little traces of almond in there. I mean, hell, it could be any of these things really, but I think it's probably the almond, little traces of the almond that they crushed in there. Wow, it has pulp, very tan head, almost slightly orange on the foam, and I even see the wow. Yeah, the little almond, little specks, black specks, which I think are the almond, they're in the foam too. Can't say I've smelled a beer like that before. That's unusual. Tons of like, hang on a second. It smells like a pina colada. It has the piney coconut like thing going on. Definitely this very deep, like blood orange. It's like orange you'd get in a cocktail or orange liqueur. It's not like the IPA orange. Wow. It's just, yeah, it smells like sour mix and pina colada and orange. It's like pine. It's like very unusual. I do get, I'm looking for the lime. Maybe the lime is adding that like weird cocktail like scent. Very interesting beer. Look at all the sediment floating in there. This one's fresh. This one I haven't had it age at all. Um, Depending on how hoppy it is, I may say you could age it a little bit, but we're about to find out together, guys. Let's see what this brings. I'm very fascinated by it. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. I can see why it's a sour ale. There is a sour orange pineapple like puree, like very It's like it's been overly ripened and then slightly soured. It's that type of fruit. It's so like overly ripened that's actually starting to sour a bit. It's fermented. It has this very deep fermented fruit like you would get in a fruit cocktail. It has the Mai Tai, the Pina Colada. It has that going on for sure. Wow. I do get the orange for sure. Mango. Yep. Here's what it tastes like. Okay. Wow. Do you remember Sunny D? Ever had Sunny D when you were a kid? The front has some of that going on, and then the middle starts to get a little bit of a hoppy, piney, like fermented fruit thing. And then the back is actually like, it's refined, but you get that lingering fermented fruit taste stuff. This one is different. I don't think I've ever had a beer. This is the first time I've had a beer that really pushes the fermented fruit, like highly processed fruit cocktail. Like this is a different level. The nose is crazy. Wow. That's not your average sour ale. My gosh. I'm starting to get used to it though. The pineapple, again, the sour part comes in a little bit on the back. So you have this like super fermented sugary fruit, cocktail blend fruit up front. And then it becomes a little bit more sour, like sour pineapple and pine on the back. And it's reminding me of a fruit blend cocktail. You know, you imagine they bring out the coconut and they put the fucking rum in there and they put the other stuff in there, and then they stir it with ice. Like that's what really, it is grabbing that sort of taste. This one probably would require some warming. It's such a different beast than what I'm used to. But I know what it's like basing itself on. The blended fermented fruit cocktail, super pungent, tiki bar sort of thing. And it definitely has the pina colada going on. I'm looking for things like the almond. I think a little bit on the back end, there could be a nuttiness. Hang on. Yes. I think the almond is a little bit in the back. And that probably adds to the pina colada's essence. I think I get everything else in here. I'm not the biggest passion fruit guy, but I believe it's in there because it's just that fruit cocktail blend. Like I think it is in there. But guys, very different beer. This one does need to breathe. I'm wondering if the flavors will blend a little bit. And I'll come back after it has, and I'll give you my final opinion. I will say this. This beer, as it has warmed, has had a nice blending effect. When it was cold out of the fridge, the fermented fruit notes jumped out a little too sharply, in my opinion. Those have mellowed. And now, as I was saying, I'm tasting pure mimosa in here. I love mimosas. But I also get the almond and a little bit of the lime sourness and the pineapple. It's bringing out this like pina colada in there too. So it's like a mimosa and a pina colada mixed together. It's exactly how I would explain it. It's right in that category. And it's something that, as a treat, is very, very tasty. Proof that you don't need great lacing for a great beer, because this is a great beer. Just to remind people that. You don't always need lacing to make a good beer. The nose is outrageous. Again, it smells like a tiki bar. That's the way I would put it. That fermented orange, like that sweet, overly ripened orange. Boom, you know? And then this little bit of sourness creeps in with like some lime peel, some coconut comes in, a little bit of pineapple. And then, you know, you got the passion fruit and the mango dancing with the orange a little bit for that sweet profile. And it's making it taste like that mimosa pina colada blend. I will say this. This is the best sour ale I've ever had. No questions asked. It's delicious. It's not, once it warms and you let it breathe a bit, the finish is very approachable and dry and balanced, but you still get a tinge of sourness. It's not, it's a little bit of that lime perhaps creeping in, but it's really not. You never leave the orange. The orange goes the whole way through, starting a little bit more fermented sweet, ending a little bit more of a sour orange. But it's there like the whole way through, with the mango, lime, and the passion fruit dancing through, pineapple. The almond and vanilla and the milk sugar are kind of a base component here. With the almond, I feel, is kind of adding in the pina colada section that I'm getting. So it's, I guess, aiding to the fruit cocktail effect. Because, again, that fermented fruit is so bold in this beer. It's so upfront. You're not tasting pure almond, you know. It's just kind of aiding to this whole package and probably bringing it down to earth a little bit. Mimosa City. I love mimosas. So here's the funny thing. I bet this beer would be great with champagne in it or rum. Your choice. I don't have either, unfortunately, and times are a little bit tough, but I can only imagine what a shot of rum or a little bit of champagne would do in this. And I bet it would taste wonderful. So in terms of a beer that changes things up and really hits you with these big orange notes and these big mixed cocktail notes, this is a 10 beer in the style. I've never had a sour ale this good, but I can't say I would have it every day. So it's a treat. It's a 10 in the style because I think it's really changing the game. And all the flavors do seem to be playing a role, even if I can't say I taste like pure lime in here. No, the lime is adding to a souring effect in there on the back end mostly. And that probably balances all that insane fruit up front. And it does a nice job. The escape plan from Untapped is getting a respectable 4.3. So there is a crowd that likes this beer. I could easily see this being a 4.4 or higher, but I'm not going to argue. It does have that strong fermented fruit, but my advice is let it warm, let it breathe, so that the cocktail kind of blends. Because when it's cold, those fermented fruits were jumping out. And it was kind of sweet and sour broken up, but then it meshes and it's a little bit more harmonious and balanced. And that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. So until next time, hope you enjoyed this one, but I will see you on the next beer review.